Hello everybody and welcome to episode number 4 of the multiplayer challenge with a twist, or the abandoned farm series. I quite like the sound of that. It's a bit easier to say, comes off the tongue a bit easier. So yeah, what are we doing today in our abandoned farm? Wow, we don't really have a lot of choice because I ain't got a lot of money, 2,159, and we ain't got a lot of things going on. Our field over here is pretty good. Potentially it could do with a little bit of lime. So I will head over there now actually. Hopefully the map's not too dark. When you start this particular map early in the morning, it does tend to start you off a bit dark. In actual fact, you might just suddenly notice it looks a bit brighter. Yeah, the sun is due to come out. It tends to be kind of 11 o'clock onwards in a game day where this map's colours really come to light. So yeah, I can see it getting brighter now as I'm looking at it. This just while speeding up, then it's different. It looks very random. I mean, it's been such a long time since I've done soybean. I've definitely not missed all of these bits. Is that just the way the texture is now? Or is that something to do with the map? I mean, normally it's in perfect lines, isn't it? It's kind of all over the place. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, this is looking good. Like I said, it could potentially do with a little bit of a liming. So we do need to give it a second coat of fertiliser as well. But I knew that. It does say it needs rolling, but we've missed the opportunity because it has, of course, germinated. I learnt that the hard way and keep it real. So yeah, fertiliser and lime. Probably something we can do. In fact, at this first growth stage, I'm assuming it's got no crop destruction. So we'll do that straight away in actual fact. The fertilizer inside of it anyway. Now, I'll keep on wandering up here. What's that there? Is that just part of the... Yeah, it says I can pick it up. It doesn't move. Fertilizer. I fixed the chickens. Now... What I will say, right, we've skipped forward a whole month here now. It's October, last episode was in September. I bought 60 chickens. So 60 chickens, and they look like a decent sized chicken. In a month, 60 chickens have produced me 29 eggs. I mean, are you serious? You lot in here, 60 of you, have given me 29 eggs in 1 month. Cheaper to go to Tesco. Yeah, so I don't know what it is. They've definitely nerfed chickens somehow. They must have done it, because I can remember when they produced a pallet a month, almost. It felt like right in the early days. Yeah, but hey, it's kind of passive. They don't require a lot of work. So the issue was, it kind of dawned on me. I did server reset and didn't fix it. And it kind of dawned on me then, going in and out of these doors. If I open this door now... You may remember that this, like here, was all the way over. And I thought, maybe because I free placed it, it was kind of, the trigger was too low, or the ground was higher than I thought. And that's ultimately what the issue was. I will say there is something with this though, because, I mean, you can probably see how low I had to go on landscaping. See the lip there on the door, and the fact that those bags are floating in the air, probably 3 inches, and it only just picks up the trigger now. So yeah, the mod itself, the trigger must be set very, very low, and that's why it wasn't working. It's ironic really, because Snowy had issues loading this trailer because the trigger of the trailer was too low. Yet this is even lower. And there you go. So I have done that. I did it off camera. You haven't seen me do it, but it's cost me money. That's why our money's gone down. I want to say maybe it was around more like 3,000 in the last episode. So yeah, I have paid for that landscaping as per the rules, and I had to really budget because of course you're limited on what you can landscape when a building's placed. So it was kind of a little bit funny really. It wouldn't let me level off certain sections. I'll make that good at some point when we have the money to do it. But for here and now, I mean, at least it's working. Hey, if they carry on producing me 29 eggs in a month, then they're definitely a waste of money, aren't they? But there we go. That's one of those things you learn the hard way, isn't it? Right, so what I can do now then while I'm here is stick this trailer back, zoom out a little bit, stick the trailer back into a shed, probably that shed there, and connect that fertilizer spreader again. I'm pretty sure it's filled to the brim with fertilizer. Go over our own field very quickly, and while I'm at it, while I'm thinking about it and I'm in the zone, oh yeah, I do, there is, oh that's interesting. Cotton, typical. I think field 1 is the biggest field on the map as well, isn't it? The pre-made field, that is. But yeah, we can't do cotton. We don't have our own equipment capable of doing cotton. But we could do fertilizing there. 514. It's not exactly much, is it? But it's only going to cost us about £10 worth of fertilizer. So let's just do that. Accept that. Again, just in case Snowy logs on in the meantime and pinches it. I'm sure he won't. I don't believe he's due back from the Philippines until tomorrow. So for me, recording this now, it is Wednesday. So yeah, he's not due back. Hopefully he's still able to get himself a video version out for the Sunday. The same as hopefully you're seeing mine right now. But yeah, I'm not quite sure what he is up to. A couple of little birdies have told me that Snowy bought something. A bag, I mean it's a bag lifter. To be honest, I'm not really that bothered. But do I play it to my advantage? Do we like give him a bit of a fine or something for doing it, for kind of twisting the rules maybe? Oh, right, let's try again. My control is definitely playing up. Right, that's good, we're going now. Yeah, I don't know. I'm quite happy to ignore it and then use that against him again if he does such an amazing job and absolutely hammers me. Then I can use that against him as well as the trees, can I? But yeah, no, I think he bought himself a little bag lifter or something just to help him transport the bag of seeds back, maybe? I did see a bag of seeds when I did that fertilizer contract before, but I didn't really think anything of it. But yeah, fair enough, whatever. Now, what I'm thinking, by the way, obviously we're going to make a few £100 now from contracts, but I'm also missing bits here. Hang on a minute. Do not want to be doing that on our own field, do we? This thing's also very, very awful to reverse. Right, come on, don't miss bits. Try again. There we go. Good. Yeah, we'll make that small amount of money from the contract, but we have absolutely no way now of making money. Those chickens, you know what, it would have been lovely if I just loaded the save up and there was half a pallet of eggs there. I could have sold that to kind of clutch a bit of money through. So all really we can do is continue to look after the abandoned farm, really. And it's got to a point, the first 2 or 3 episodes, I think it was fine. It worked quite well for us to not skip through months. But now that we're a bit more kind of settled and established, I also missed a bit there, didn't I? Yeah, I think now we need to be much more consistent with skipping through months, because it's just going to come to a dead stop if we don't speed it up. I want to get sheep. I feel like I need to get sheep. And actually, I'm pretty sure in the piece of land, at the bottom corner, the kind of the almost random, unusable section, all thanks to Snowy's big chode design, I think that would be good to have kind of a free roaming amount of sheep. And again, they should produce us a little bit more backup. That's more than passive. They require a little bit more work, obviously. You know, you've got to give them water manually. You've got to cut the grass, and you've got to, yeah, you've got to mow. You've got to windrow. There's a lot more work involved with sheep. It's not quite as passive. That's for definite. But I think the sooner we do it, the better. Actually, I would love to be able to do it this episode, but it's £5 grand. I don't know how I'm going to make £5,000. I just don't. I don't know. Is it even possible? I'm not sure. This fertilizer spreader is really odd because it kind of randomly turns itself on and off. I always thought that was part of the precision farming mod, but this fertilizer spreader seems to do it as well. Okay, right. And when I try and turn it off, it doesn't turn off. It's bizarre. Let's head to this other field. I don't actually know which field it was now, but I can't really go wrong. They're all next to each other. We'll get that done. We'll top our funds up a little bit. Our only way of making money is to cut more grass. And that, I think, is what I'm going to have to do. I mean, it's an awful mower. The windrow, actually, I quite like the windrow. I did like the windrow. The tedder was okay, easy to use, just small. Just really small. Yeah, but I'm just going to have to do it. I'm going to have to grind. I'm going to have to grind. Now, I was thinking about our rule, and kind of Snowy maybe, I don't know, is that in the rules? It's not like he's bought main equipment, I guess. He's bought a bag lifter for the front loader. It's not like he's bought himself a new plough. So I don't know. That maybe that's within the rules. But do we have a little chat between us and tweak it a little bit? Maybe rather than saying a game year, especially as we've we're only just starting to skip through months. We've already spent time doing the first 4 episodes. Maybe it's after the 6th episode we can start to change equipment, because we will. We need this series to progress. We don't want it to be. Wow, still an absolute struggle, like it kind of is right now, when FS25 comes out, because it'll be an unfinished series really. So yeah, I'm gonna have a chat with Snowy. I'm thinking after the 6th episode. So this is the 4th. Snowy, if he's done one today, depends on obviously how he's feeling when he gets back from the Philippines, but he potentially is on his 4th. Couple more episodes of struggle, and then we can start to get different equipment. And I think for me, I think it needs to be a bigger plough, if the tractor will pull it. If not, it needs to be a bigger mower. It's one of those two things. It's just what it has to be. Now, I'm assuming we're not fertilising that, because that looks like it's ready to harvest. Unfortunately, we do not have a sunflower header. Let me check, because what was it? Field 6. Where is 6? Oh, yeah, it might be the one I've already done. Oh yeah, that's the one I harvested. In fact, that's just reminded me that my harvester's parked up. I should bring that back. I'm surprised. I'm glad, but I'm also surprised that it's there and it's potentially untouched by Snowy. With it being so close to his farm, I thought he was going to do something to it. I really did. And from here again, jump into this view as always, doesn't look like his machinery has moved a great deal. So I'm not sure if he's been on and recorded anymore since I was last on. Of course, he forward recorded his, as we mentioned, because he was on holiday. Now, what's the right button to press here? Oh, it turns itself on, doesn't it? There we go. Okay, right. This is a slightly bigger field. Do I would love to have harvested field number 1. Look at the size of it. But it's cotton. It's cotton. That is a real shame, because it paid like £1,000 and you would have made quite a bit of money from the leftovers, I would have thought. Yeah, that is a shame. But again, that's in the rules. We can't lease, we can't loan the equipment for our contracts. We can't do it. Now, I'm probably missing bits. It's difficult. Do you know, I wonder, I've got my settings turned quite high, but you always get that kind of render circle, don't you? I don't know what the official term is. It is quite annoying, that circle. I wonder if that's still going to be on the next game, because I don't think it's my system that's causing the issue. It must be something to do with how the game is built. Anyway, same as the last fertilizer contract I did, actually. It was not even worth my time making it into a time lapse. It really doesn't take long at all. And I'm hoping, it's just come out 88% in the top corner. I'm hoping now this is going to give me the 100%. Either that or I'm going to be faffing. Ah, there you go. Right, so again, I'm going to try and figure out how to turn this off. Doesn't seem to want to. Good. Right, we'll take the money now, just so I don't forget. £514. Alright, cool. Ideal. We could do another one of those appearing, really. Yeah. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to sneak in. Sneak in the sideway. I mean, I can't imagine Snowy's abandoned farm's got cameras, is it? I'm sure it hasn't. And I kind of know my way around, to be honest. I want to know if it will let me use this bucket. So again, I'm hoping. I mean, I don't know. Has Snowy even noticed it? I'm hoping. No, it doesn't let me do it. I'm hoping that he sees that and thinks, oh, he's left me a nice thing to clean my vehicles. And then it's actually going to put mud on them. Yeah, and I kind of wanted to... Wow. It looks like he's cleaned it all up nicely. I kind of wanted to make it all filthy dirty again. But I can't. Damn it. Unless, of course, I join into his farm, which I could do, because, you know, I did set up the Deddy server. I do know what the admin password is, so I could definitely access his farm. But I'm not doing that. That's going a bit too far, that is, isn't it? A bit too far. Okay, right. We're going to head on back to the farm. I do need to, actually, that reminds me. I do need to put down the fuel tank. And also the water hose, the same thing there that he's obviously used to clean his vehicles, right in the middle. I need to place that myself, don't I, free of charge. So I will do that at some point. At the minute, it's not exactly urgent. Well, it was long, it was slow, and it was barely worthwhile. But we are back from doing our little side job. So that is good. Now, where did I leave the mower? I think I left it. See, I'm trying to be organised actually on this, which is just unusual for me. I don't do being organised. But I did put everything grass related into one thing, didn't I? Oh, I'll tell you what. This is horrible to reverse. Oh dear. It's going the complete wrong way that it should do. Let me try this again. That'll do. I've had enough of it. Right. Let's go and get the mower. And wherever I left it somewhere. I think. Do you know, right. Let's just detach that here. What do you mean not allowed in this state? There we go. I wasn't 100% organised, was I? Because actually the mower's in the shed that I was literally just in. Brilliant. So, yeah, this section here I'm going to mow. This is going to be a field as well. Absolutely. So, the mowing will help me determine where the field boundary is going to be. Now, this is going to be a lot of ploughing. A lot of ploughing. One advantage I have got over Snowy, I guess, although he had the big trees and the big boost to money, he doesn't currently have the time because he is in the Philippines. So we're not necessarily restricting each other at the minute to how much time. So, you know, like Dagoin, Chainsaw, they do a really good one. They're, you know, they're probably one of the original good ones. Or the Farm Sim guy when he's done them with Arksy. They've always been logged in at the same time for the same amount of time. Therefore, they've had equal amounts of time on their own farms. My advantage temporarily is not as much of an advantage as what those trees were for Snowy. But my advantage is I do have the time over him. So I can spend as long as it takes, almost, realistically, you know, given that the kids are annoying me, but as long as it takes to plough this up. I could plough this entire field in this episode. I really could do. I don't know if I will, and if I do, I won't time-lapse it, because you'd have 45 minutes of time-lapse and no talking, and yeah, I don't really want to do that. But he's left me some horrible little bumps here when he did his landscaping. The reason I'm not going right up to the fence, by the way, is because I would like to create some sort of pathway here, some sort of roadway. Maybe I'll cut down this kind of awkwardly placed tree right in front of me. But yeah, I would like to have a roadway leading up to the chode. Absolutely. I also think, come the end of it, what do you reckon? Rather than it being just about money, who made the most amount of money? Why don't we do kind of a viewer's vote on, I don't know, which abandoned farm was restored the best and looks the best, or which one between me and Snowy has done the best job of utilising their own piece of land? Don't know. Part of me is also wondering whether or not I should have bought a field myself, you know. I didn't really want to do that initially. I wanted to make the most of what we already own. But the advantage you got with buying a field is you harvest everything that's on the field, which gives you pure profit because you sell it. But then also when you go back to sell the field, you haven't lost any money. So yeah, maybe I should have done that. Maybe I should have done that as well. Anyway, right. This is... come on. You can do it, little tractor. This is going to take a while. Actually, now that I'm doing it, though, this doesn't seem too unlevel. This is certainly a field that we would be able to use the harvester in. I mean, I said it, I think, last episode. The harvester seems to be our most powerful piece of equipment anyway. So, if the tractor can do it, the harvester can definitely do it. Right, wish me luck. This is going to take a while.
So high, I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind.
There we go. What do you think? That didn't actually take too long either, actually. Hopefully it looked okay from a time-lapse point of view. Let me just switch myself around a minute, and then we'll have a good overview of it, actually. But wow, big area. Big area. Make sure I've lowered that down. Yeah, this wheel. I mean, I don't want to get too carried away, because there's quite a lot to do yet. I've still got to ted it and grow it, then bale it, then pick it up and then sell it. Lots to do. But this will eventually, by the time I've ploughed this, be by far the biggest field on the map currently. Unless Snowy's doing something very similar in the meantime. But yeah, this is going to be amazing. And I think there is quite a bit of grass here, you know. It looks like it's kind of cut and yielded better than that little tiny plot that I've already cut. So I am excited for this now. Now you could say, if I'm talking about getting sheep, why am I cutting the grass and selling it? Because in theory I need to keep it as sheep food. But there's no point keeping it if I can't afford the sheep in the first place. So yeah, that's my theory. To be honest, we've got to sell the sheep's food to afford sheep. Kind of backwards thinking, really. We've got plenty more areas we can get grass from. Definitely. And, of course, if the sheep become something which is really, really good, then that little starter field, which we've got there with soybeans growing, just to give us a bit of a kickstart, that could eventually become a little mini grass field, which we'd use for sheep food. And then make this into our big harvest. Right, let's get this lowered down. There we go. Good, is it? Yep. Right, another tedious job, another tedious part of the job. This bit isn't too bad. Then the windrower after that is even better. That's great. I actually really enjoyed using that windrower because I could go full speed. Nothing was stopping me. 19 miles per hour, absolutely flying around this field, getting it rowed up. I just got to try not to row them up quite as thick as I did last time, really. But the bit I'm really not looking forward to is the baling side of it. Not only having to drive around collecting all the rows that we're going to make, it's then having to get out, pick them up and load them onto the back of that absolutely awful flatbed lawn mower thing that we've got. I think it would be easier if the bales didn't float through the actual bed, but there you go. Right, this shouldn't take too long. Do I want to time-lapse this bit as well? Not sure, you know. I do quite like to do the talking. I don't want to do too much of this stuff, which is kind of a bit boring to watch, maybe. I'm making an assumption there on your behalf. I think time-lapses are a little bit boring to watch, so I don't want to put you through that. But this actually won't take too long, so who knows? You might see this in the time-lapse. You might just see it cut. I'll keep it recording, and when I get to that editing bit, I'll, well, see what I can do to save the time. Anyway, right, same again. I will catch you shortly. There we go again. What do you think? It's looking alright, isn't it? It's not looking too bad. Again, I don't know if you've seen that in the time-lapse. I don't know if you've seen a bit of it in the time-lapse and I kind of cut through a big middle chunk of it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. All these pieces on the ground look green, which look... Actually, no. That is genuinely... I was about to say, I haven't missed any. I have clearly missed some right there. yeah, all the rest of the bits that you see around the ground in green is just kind of the stubble from the grass, and that's more than likely where the grass would actually grow back. But all the plain bits, it wouldn't grow back. So even though we've cut it and cleared the land, it's not really worth keeping as grass, because you'll just never get the right yield out of it. Okay, right, I haven't missed any now. I'm sure. We're going to try through here. At least this time it will be easier to get out rather than trap myself in. Just jump into this little view, and yeah, we'll pop it there like that. And I'm excited about using this windrow again. I actually am. I'm pretty sure I connected the bar. Yep, the bar is connected. I'm pretty sure I didn't disconnect the bar, is what I was meant to say, which I haven't, so that's good. So this should hopefully come out and work really well. Brilliant. I haven't checked on the greenhouse, but I can't imagine it is anywhere near producing a pallet of lettuce. Now I've got to remind myself how this works again. Which button was it to unfold it? A. And there we go. And again, I want to try and keep it away from the outer edge of this field. I'll probably go around. Look at this. Look at the speed I've got. I'll probably go around twice on the headland and actually move the outer swath closer into the field. Kind of doubles it up in size as well, doesn't it? Oh dear. I did not expect. Can we get it? I didn't. Yeah, got it. Didn't expect the tether to throw so much hay off the edge of that little hill there, to be honest. But yeah, this is great. See how fast it is. It is so fast though. It is a bit tricky to control. But look, I mean, I nearly got air then. Wow. Yeah, I like this windrow. I think this windrow is up there with any windrow I've used actually, and I'm really hoping Snowy's struggling with it. I know that sounds bad, but it is a weird one. Once you get your head around it, it's good. But until then, it just makes absolutely no sense at all. In fact, I think it's probably put him off of it, so he probably hasn't even tried it. He's probably waited until we can buy new equipment just to replace it, I would have thought. But, oh, it's better get that, hadn't I? Oh, I still missed a little bit, that's fine. Yeah, so I'm just going to move this outer swap a bit further in. It's a bit easier to get to with the baler, but also it kind of naturally doubles up the swath for us, which is good. Which is really good. Now, this bit, I don't know. This bit probably will be a time lapse. Depends if I can find anything to talk about. There are a few things I want to talk about. So it was this episode, but the last one, this series, but the last episode, I was talking about a few little changes to the channel. And again, they were tick boxes. They genuinely were tick boxes, mainly because I was getting fed up with the notifications. But what I will say is at this moment in time of me recording, which is a Wednesday, I have had someone sign up to be a member, and it was Justin. Justin's been around here since, well, pretty much the beginning. I think it's safe to say you're one of the originals. So I really appreciate it. You know me quite well by now. But I thought in the last what is it, 19 months maybe the channel is 19 months old. You've probably got to know me quite well, and you know that I'm quite honest, and I will eventually, as I start to get kind of a bit more established again, I will probably come up with some solutions of how maybe I can reward people who want to be a member. But Justin, thank you very much. You didn't have to do it. I do really appreciate it. And yeah, I understand now why it says you get priority access to the comments, because it does give me a whole new section. You've helped me learn how membership works almost. So yeah, I appreciate it, and every little helps, isn't it? I'm certainly not consistent enough and even good enough at this point to even consider really making enough money from YouTube for it to be along the lines of kind of jobs and things like that. That's not why I'm in it, and that's why I don't like to ask and set things up that require money. But yeah, again, I do appreciate it, and yeah, I guess knowing you and us speaking before, I probably could have guessed actually that you might have been someone who did do it just to benefit the channel. But cool. Right, anything else to talk about? Probably not. Probably not. See how much of this field I've done though already. It's just so good. It's just so good. I don't know how. Oh, okay. Right, you're turning it off and it lowers it. It doesn't lower and lower and unlower. I was about to say. Goodness me. Been a long day. Oh, and I just mucked it up, and it's a dolly. Yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna reverse. Let's go with that. Okay, that will do. Oh my god. I've just looked back on it. It looks absolutely awful. Oh dear. I thought I was doing a good job. Look at the state of it. But it's relatively easy to pick up. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? So that will be... that will definitely be alright. Now, let's just park this up. Typically, my... see, this is the problem with trying to be organised, right? Because now the Bale is in the way and I can't drive through. I'm going to have to start thinking about what I'm going to use in that shed over there in the distance. The one just in front of the chode. Yeah, maybe I need to use that a bit more as well. Drive-through sheds for this type of equipment, especially dollies, are pretty handy, really. Okay, right, all that's left to do then is one of those tedious bits again, isn't it? So let's get the baling done. Let's see how many bales we can get out of it. Now I do think... oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Why have I just tried to connect it from the back? Oh no, I even thought that to myself as well. On YouTube brain, I think. Anyone who's watching this now who does their own videos, you know what I mean, right? You're trying to make conversation ultimately with yourself because no one's actually listening to you when you're doing a recording. And yeah, you forget the most obvious things. Do it all the time. I just want to have a look and see whether you can change the size of the bales, because I'm pretty sure... I don't think I can I? Unfold baler. No. I'm sure in the menu it says 400 litre bales, yet when I did it, it gave me 300 litre bales. Unless bale sizes are different for the product that you're doing. I don't know. Does it let me know that it's turned on? No. I can't change the size of the bales, which is weird. What's it going to shoot out now? So look, I'm looking in the bottom corner. I'm not actually looking at where I'm going. Just can see. Yeah, that was a 300 litre bale. Definitely was. And let's just go into the owned products, which, wow, look at it. When you look at it on this screen, it looks like we own a lot, doesn't it? 49 centimetre bales. Oh, it doesn't actually tell you. Oh, okay. I'm sure maybe in the buy screen it says 400 litre. I'm sure it did. Anyway, I'm not going to do too much of this in a time lapse. I'm just going to do a little bit. I mean, if I do one straight bit to give us an idea of how many bales we're going to get, which is a lot, by the way, because it's flying out. be even more if I actually drove in a straight line. But yeah, we'll do this row here and maybe one straight down the middle. See how many bales we make from that, and then maybe in the live chat, if you're watching this on the premiere, maybe let's have a bit of a competition. Obviously I'll know, I'll be in the live chat, but I'll know because I would have already recorded it. But I'll see who comes up with the closest guest. The closest guest? The closest guess. Oh, I can't even talk. Right, so I missed loads there, and we made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bales. Plus there's another 4 in the back of this. Yeah. That's a lot of bales. That's a lot of bales. I'm going to go with a nice round number, and I'm going to go with 70 bales. Yeah. Maybe that's too less. I don't know. Right, anyway. Look at it. It's like a bale trail. Bale trail. The pickup on this is not particularly wide at all either, so it's quite tricky to... And I wasn't doing the swaths as big as I did last time either with that wind, where I got a bit carried away in the first field. But even this is struggling, isn't it? Yeah. What do you reckon? There's a good few bales there already. A lot. Either way. Right, I'll catch you in a moment. Wow. Look at that. You can only imagine how long it's taken me to stack that. So relatively neatly, actually. It's so neat I don't even want to sell it. Now, 82 bales. Did you guess 82 bales? Actually, 86 bales. Oh god, I didn't even know I could count that high. 86 bales. Did you honestly guess 86? Clearly it was a few more than what I thought. Now, if you did guess 86, well done. But you're still wrong, because I've left 10 of them behind. Yeah, I was kind of worried, and this was the reason why, actually. Look at this. I mean, at least we're still moving, but I thought any more than this, and it just ain't gonna move. And I was also a bit concerned it might get top heavy, and what a nightmare that would be if, if I just tipped this thing over. Oh, could you imagine? Could you imagine? That would depress me, that would. So yeah, I left 10 behind, and actually I thought, you know, look, 25,800 litres of hay. It was hard work to make it. It was really, really hard work, actually. But this is going to give us enough money to finish the episode with some sheep. I am absolutely certain of it. And I won't show you now because I don't want to lose my momentum. But, you know, sometimes in the game, it doesn't always give you accurate information, does it? So the last episode, when we sold the bales right at the very beginning, September was the best, I can't even talk, it's very late for me now. September was the best month to sell them. In fact, it was even in the comments, actually. You guys were saying to me, make sure you sell them, it's the best time to sell them. Well, sometimes when you skip forward to the next month, actually the next month can be even better, and it is. So yeah, as I was loading these up, I was expecting to be selling them at a lesser price, potentially substantially lesser, because the chart kind of shows the price absolutely drops off the edge of a cliff, a bit like me dropping off the edge of the chode. Yeah, but it actually went up a tiny bit more. So now the charts are showing October is the best time to sell, which is pure coincidence, but pure amazing. Maybe the map nodes, I need a little bit of luck really to catch up with Snowy. That's what I'm hoping anyway. There's certainly no way I can kind of fiddle with that, especially from a crossplay point of view. I can't do anything to make map adjustments because then it wouldn't allow Snowy to join in. So yeah, pure coincidence, which has worked in my favour massively. Again, I don't want to show you the chart because I do not want to lose this momentum. We're up to 13 miles per hour now. This is amazing. And, oh, I timed that well. I haven't even got to slow down for the train. That was perfect timing. Absolutely. I couldn't have timed that any better unless another one's coming. No, good. The good thing about this top speed and lack of power is I can't really get enough speed to worry about centre of gravity and rolling over. So that's something, isn't it? We'll get relatively close to the sail point. I don't know if it will pick up all of the bales because some of them are quite high, but obviously I'll unstrap it and in theory they should drop down. I'll do it as an actual vehicle option this time rather than each strap individually because it'd be nice to get a nice round figure. But just before I pull into there, oh gosh, I felt it tipping then, you know. Yeah, just before I pull in there, I'll show you. So here, it's already on the screen ready to go. So yeah, last episode, September, showed us the best price. See how much it drops now. As soon as we go past this best price, it drops right down to £150-ish. That's a pretty substantial loss, isn't it? But, wow, I mean, amazing. 343. It's actually showing higher than what the maximum price is supposed to be. It still says it's raising, but I ain't going to risk it, to be honest with you. I'm just going to go with this. Now, 333 times 25.8. Yeah, decent amount, decent amount. So are you ready? I am ready. Let's go. Wow, £10,440. Oh my gosh. So yeah, this is the most amount of money that we've had so far in this series. Now, it gives me a bit of a head start, I guess, a bit of a catch-up on Snowy. However, of course, the land sizes are pretty much identical, so if Snowy wants to do that same grind, and it was definitely a grind, if he wants to do the same grind and kind of cut all of his grass, he'll pretty much have the same amount, give or take. Give or take a few quid here or there, he will have the same amount of money. Oh dear, I've lost the momentum. It feels even slower now without the bales. Yeah, so 96 bales altogether, just shy of, you know, if I cut the grass that little bit closer to the edges, we might have made a nice round 100 bales. I don't know actually though, is there a limit? Because it's kind of cross-play and console, would there be a limit? So maybe it's a good job we didn't make too many. But the 10 bales we got left, 300 litres per bale, we got 3,000 litres of hay to feed the sheep. The sheep which we are now going to get before we end this episode. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. I just hope, I really hope I can place them well enough in that corner. It might kind of fall out of the boundary a little bit. We might get some escaped sheep once in a while. They might spawn in or appear just outside of the fence, but I'll do my best to keep it within our kind of boundaries. Definitely. But then, Snowy's talking about nicking trees from outside of his boundary, so I'm sure I can get away with a few sheep escaping once in a while. They'll always come back, as Javaskis would say. They know where their food is, so they'll always come back, even if they jump the fence. Now, I don't really want to do any more cutting, because I've done plenty of time-lapse in this episode, plenty of cutting. However, I genuinely, I mean, it's gone past midnight for me now, I cannot think of enough things to talk about in the time it's going to take me to drive back. So, yeah, I will cut you off here and now, and as we approach the farm, I will jump you back in. The nearly home chode is in sight. We're nearly home. We are nearly home. Although actually from here it looks a bit like the house is floating, doesn't it? Something a bit... Oh, there it is. It's just appeared. Yeah, something a bit strange about that piece of land, the chode. Not only is it strange just because, look at it, it's strange. But it's done something strange with the landscaping, and I think that's why the fencing keeps disappearing. Someone did comment actually, which is a pretty good point, and I reckon you're absolutely right. It's probably still spawning the fences at ground level. It's just some sort of strange conflict, I think, that happens, a bit of a bug. You will notice though on our return journey, it looks like it's respawned in the fences. Yep, I can see the fences. Right, here we go. So, there are our 10 bales. And you might be asking, how did I get them to pile up like that? Actually, do you know, I thought it was a really smart idea. In fact, I almost wish I recorded that part. Very, very smart. You know, I always say smart, not hard. In the distance, you might just see the tractor. On the back of the tractor is the seeder. So clearly I haven't seeded anything. But what I did was I lowered it and reversed into the bales. And I pushed them all up into about maybe 6 piles of bales, which just made the loading part of it much, much easier. Absolutely. Right, cool. We are back at the farm, so let's drop the control, connect up my mouse, and finish the episode on sheep. I think this is an absolute necessity. That Granny's Knitwear mod looks perfect for this type of gameplay. Now, this is kind of... Yeah, that's a better angle. This is unusual. Unusual? It is unusual. That thing that Snowy made there is unusual. No, unusable land from a plough point of view anyway. This kind of hill that you see here, I feel is just far too steep. The harvester would be fine with it, but I don't think the tractor would cope too well with ploughing and then obviously seeding it every time. So yeah, we're going to treat that as unusable area. And we're going to go with, I forgot what I was doing, sheep. There's 2 mods that are affordable. This one here is cool, and I think I've mentioned this before. I do really, really like this. And he has a 30 sheep limit though. And do you know what I thought? If it's unusable land, we ain't going to use it for anything else. So let's just go massive. Let's go massive. Now you can kind of see in each 4 corner there, it's got the post. So I know roughly how big it is. And even just here, it almost fits into this land. But because it is so unlevel, one of the poles pretty much disappear. So I can't quite see where the top corner is. However, I can guesstimate it pretty well. My only concern is, you know, I normally free place these things. See how much money it's going to cost me to place it there. But I don't want to free place it because after the chicken incident, I'm kind of a bit skeptical about doing it, especially when you're playing with kind of console rules and you don't have the ability to landscape it quite so well. So yeah, I think we're going to have a few sheep which decide to go into the barn over here. But let's just have a think a minute. How can I make this work, and how can I make it cost the least amount of money? Yeah, and also, I mean, the interactive zone marker does show up there. Ideally, I need it to be that way, don't I, to give me better access. I mean, that would be perfect if I could get it alongside there. But do I really want the sheep free roaming inside of the barn? I mean, we could almost call it a sheep barn, I guess, in a weird way. So that could kind of work. In actual fact, no. Okay, I'm gonna have a little think about this a minute. I will jump it back into a cutscene very quickly while I have a think, and I will pop it back in again once I've figured out roughly where I'm going to place it. So no, I think I'm going to go with here, because actually the sheep may go into the very first, the left-hand section there of that barn, which would look kind of cool actually. Also, although you can't really see it because I don't want to move the mouse now, but it should spawn itself and level the ground just beyond that tree there, right where the price is. But £6,636 isn't that bad. It's going to do something funky with the ground. I know that. And we're going to have to do some form of track or levelling up to it. But actually, that kind of works, I think. So let's do it. Is it going to make all of these shrubs disappear? I don't know. We'll soon find out. Cool. It didn't. And actually, that's come out pretty damn good. Now, another reason I've abandoned that tractor there, by the way, just while I remember, is it's only run out of fuel. So yeah, I better get that petrol tank or diesel tank mod activated at some point, just so I can refill it. Because yeah, we've got it set to to drain in the fuel very fast, and with all of that ploughing and all of this work it's done, it's certainly drained it fast. Cool. Now, these, obviously we can turn these off, and I'll turn it off in a minute, but this gives me a marker. This is the corner. So as long as I kind of placed it properly, it should just capture this section here, which I think will look kind of cool. The sheep might wander into that section of the shed. It'd almost look like a purpose-built little sheep pen for them, wouldn't it, really? We'll come out the other side, and we probably won't know where the other fence is, because it's kind of sunk into the ground. If we're very lucky, we might just capture the top of it. Probably not. But anyway, this is the important part. Where the heck is it? Here. Oh my god. Yeah, that's a lot worse than I thought. That's awful, isn't it? That is awful. But we'll make that work. We'll put a little track in here somewhere. I don't know. For here and now, it doesn't matter, does it? This was an abandoned piece of land anyway. Cool. So where are the other ones? There's one corner there. Good. Again, I'll turn that off. I just want to see where it was. This is actually pretty damn high. You can see just how hilly this section is now, can't you? By the fact that that's floating, yet the other corner of it, which, let's try and square it off. The other corner of it is probably completely under the ground. Can I see it? Can I see? No, I definitely can't see it. It should be here somewhere, I'm guessing. Yeah, cool. I mean, the best way to find out is to turn them off and then get some sheep in. Now, which, let's stick the helper menu on a minute, because I know one of, there you go, toggle the marker posts. And that kind of makes them disappear. Cool. Hopefully it did anyway. We'll find out now by looking here. Yep, it's definitely gone. Good, I like that. I don't think I would like this mod if it didn't do that, actually, if I'm honest with you. Now, I thought I had the zone markers on, but I obviously didn't. So, let's go and buy... Right, so that's where it spawns the pallets, which is also perfect for driving in, loading up. This is where we've got to put the food in. This is where we've got to put water in, which is good, because also that's quite tight, so that works. And then that says loading zone, which I guess is for the animals, because the other side must be the loading zone. Anyway, how much is sheep? I can't remember. So even the cheapest ones produce wool. That's good. That is a good start. Doesn't actually tell you... I have no idea how much wool they produce, to be honest. When they get to 8 months, they are in puberty, so they will produce even more sheep. Takes every 5 months they'll produce another one. Yeah, is that what it means? So I think. What kind of sheep do I want first of all? I think these are the most kind of common ones that I would see where I am. So let's go for. Well, we can only afford 60, so we don't want to do that. How much is this going to cost? Wow. Wow, £4,000. Do I want to do it? What else have I got to spend money on at the minute? It's not like we can buy new equipment, is it? So what we'll do is let's just do it. I think this is a good idea. I really do. And hopefully they'll produce. I'm thinking out loud here. Hopefully they'll produce loads of wool. By the time we harvest our soybeans and have some money again, we can place down our little old granny's little summer house to live in. And yeah, right, let's do it. We'll buy 20. It's a lot of money though, isn't it? 20 out of 120. I'm sure the mod just said you could have 100, not 120. And I think just to spruce it up a little bit, let's go for these ones times by 2. Another 1,000. Yeah, it doesn't leave us with much money at all. But at least those two can be responsible for producing babies. And I mean, how does it work? Will I all of the babies I get be black in colour instead of white. Be a good way of monitoring how many babies they have, wouldn't it? So let's just get 2 of them as well. Call me crazy. It is a little bit crazy. Oh, there they are, look. And no flying sheep yet, which is cool. Oh, there you go, look, he's ventured out there. Don't you go any further than that though, mate. Right, I like that. That's kind of lined up quite well. The fact that he's actually a bit further over than I thought means what I was trying to avoid is sheep disappearing into here, or at least all of a sudden animating inside of my house, which I guess actually would have been quite funny. But no, we don't want to do that. Right. Wow, 22 sheep look like nothing in this big plot of land, especially when they're hiding in bushes. Okay, right. I forget, I don't need to water everything, do I? Oh, I need to move that harvester. So yeah, here we are. The fuel light is flashing, which is why I thought, right, no more Bale fishing. It worked perfectly, by the way, though. It really did work perfectly as a Bale push in reverse. That was definitely one of my better ideas. Right, so we're pretty much there, by the way. I think, like I said, lots and lots of time lapse this episode, but there's not really much more we can do at this point. If those sheep really start bringing in the money, then actually, wow, we're going to be buying some real good big equipment pretty quickly. Once we've got past the rule of being able to buy equipment and have that granny's knitwear producing, we're going to be untouchable. This might be it, by the way. This could be the turning point, unless of course, like I said, Snowy is thinking the same thing, which it could be. Oh look, they're all hiding over this side there. Yeah, I haven't seen mum and dad. Oh, there you go. There's one of them. Well, it wouldn't be mum and dad, would it? It would be just mum and mum. Do you know what I really could do with doing? Is making a little hole in that fence. And I'm going to do that now. And I will message Snowy because, I mean, I don't know, but given that I've seen the field that he's bought, and I purposely, to be difficult, placed the... What? What is that? Have the poles reappeared again? That's unusual. I don't know what that is just there. Anyway, got distracted then. Yeah, given that I purposely placed the shed right next to it, it was a drive-through shed, but I put it next to the fence just to be difficult. I would imagine that's probably slightly annoying him. So I will message him and say to him, by the way, you can delete those fences. I was just being difficult on purpose. So we're just going to delete ourselves a few little slots there. That's cool. Doesn't cost any money. Doesn't earn us any money either. Let's go back around. I don't know why that piece of wood's there, and I'm guessing it doesn't. No, it doesn't have a collision. Okie dokie. Sometimes on dedicated servers, you do get weird little things like that. So it might be after all of the work I've done in this episode, which has been a lot. It could well be worth restarting the server. After I've saved it, of course. Right, is the cover open? Open the cover. Oh, it is open now, because I can see it is. So we'll get some water from here. We'll give those sheep some water. Then we'll throw some bales in. And we're done. We're done. Hopefully kind of a... Well, I mean, it's probably an hour-long episode again by now, isn't it? I'm kind of guessing, but it probably is. But then when we're only doing these once a week, I think an hour is reasonable. I think an hour is acceptable, or even a little bit longer. I think that's okay. If we were doing 2 or 3 a week, maybe that would be a bit too long. But right, we are filled up now. 2,000 litres of water. Hopefully that will see them through to the next episode. I hope so, anyway. Oh, fingers crossed we get loads and loads of wool. That would be amazing. Okay, here we are. So we'll unload this. At least they've got... At least they're going to have a little bit of order. Hopefully it shows the water texture instead of that kind of weird mud texture still. Oh, amazing. Good. And I don't know, now that it's put it all in, let's have a little look at what the capacity could actually be. Let's check them again. 712 litres of food there. Yeah, so 2,000 litres. It holds probably 3 loads, doesn't it? I guess 6,000 litres. But for a minute, I'm not going to do any more. Let me just load up some bales, and then I'll jump you back in again. See you in a sec. Here we are. We're flying. 23 miles per hour. Oh, I spoke too soon. Now we've slowed down again. We've come to a very, very slight incline, and it's struggling. Anyway, I'm kind of hoping that it will just unload these straight in. Worst case, we'll jump in the back and throw them off. But it should do. It should do. I've used this mod before. This shouldn't have any issues with collisions. So we'll just unstrap. And no. Okay, maybe not. Does this have the option to, like, fold? Is it a flatbed? Of course it's not a flatbed. What am I talking about? It's barely got power to even run. Okay, that's annoying, but it should work if we chuck them down there. Yeah. Cool. Oh, I don't want to do that. I wanted to throw it, not get into it. Good. So again, I don't actually know. It's funny, the triggers are all over the place, aren't they, on this series? Because this pickup truck's a little bit too high. The trailer is too low. The chicken coop is just random. It's all over the place. Anyway, right, 3... Oh, just vanished. Okay, right, what have we got? Somehow they've gained an extra 556 litres of food. I don't quite know how that happened, because it definitely was only 3,000 litres on the back of the thing, but there you go. We'll take it. Any extra bonuses? No problems. Oh, they've got 35 eggs there now as well, so after my telling off at the beginning of the episode, they're obviously sorting themselves out. Cool. We're good. We're really good. Yeah. Wow. Look at this, and all of a sudden they've all appeared. Now I've put some food and water in, we got sheep everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. This is amazing. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Again, it probably is kind of pushing an hour by now, isn't it, really? But I do hope you'll be seeing this Sunday. I hope Snowy's managed to get his version out as well. And I am very tempted to start watching Snowy's now. What do you reckon? I think we found everything that we hidden. We're a few episodes into it, and then I kind of miss purposely ignoring watching Snowy, I'm not going to lie, because I do tend to watch most of, if not all of his videos, so yeah, it's kind of weird to resist temptation to watch it, but cool. Wow, this might be the game changer. This might be the game changer. If this starts producing us a lot of money, I'll have to stop whinging about the log situation, won't I? Maybe. I probably still will. Anyway, thank you for watching. This was episode number 4. And yeah, until the next one, cheers and gone.